Hello, good person. Delighted to have you back with me for the third installment on this little set of videos on the healing tree. So we had a look at the root system previously, then the trunk level of healing in the middle, and now we're going to wander up into the branches of healing, which is where we plug into spirituality. So join me for a few minutes here with the beautiful orchids here and a beautiful day here up on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. You can enjoy the trees in the background there as I just talk you through what I call branch level healing. Now, when we get to this point of healing, of having done a lot of the raw material, heavy lifting, old emotions, negative beliefs, we've worked through a lot of that raw material, got that out of our body mind, and we've brought in a lot of mature adult understanding. We've mapped things and done a lot of hypnotherapy to bring our trunk level awareness to the child. That really sets us up in a much more open space. We've created a lot of space within our body mind. There's a lot of room now to go next level. And I find that if we don't go to the spiritual, we're sort of hitting a sort of like a materialistic ceiling. We're hitting a bit of a limit where we might be happier, there might be more freedom, there might be more space in our life. We're less restricted, if you like, by the residue from the past. But there can still be an aspect of, why did that happen? That was still wrong. I mean, as I say to people often, on a human level, that just sucks. That just sucks. There's no way that that's good. But if we get into the branches, we start to access the spiritual levels of our being, then we start to find meaning in terrible things. We start to find purpose within even terrible trauma. We need to go to that expanded level, even right through to the soul level, to really finally make sense of what it was all for, why we went through that, why it happened, and really put it to rest fully and completely. Now in my upcoming book, Trauma Survivor to Soul Warrior, which is getting close now, just in the final copy editing to proofreading stages, I do talk about this in a lot of detail. We talk about ways to explore spirituality and a lot of the fantastic stuff that's been developed in spiritual hypnotherapy work, spiritual regression work, things like past life regression and life between lives work, or between lives soul regression work. Fantastic stuff. I've trained in that, done a lot of that work over the years. And it's that level where we start to realize the good that has come out of the bad, the purpose that's come out of the struggle, the gifts and qualities that have been created through the trauma, not despite it, but because of it. It's like we've got gifts for our birthday or Christmas presents that are all wrapped up in the residue of that trauma. The gifts are hidden, if you like. As long as we're still in our PTSD, we're still in our woundedness, the gifts are hidden, if you like. And what we're aware of is just these wrappers that can be very sharp and pointy. They can be terrible symptomatic wrappers. But as we heal through the branch level, we're starting to really take the wrappers off. We're starting to unwrap these gifts, and what's revealed are these wonderful qualities that have developed in us through the challenge. Things like strength and resilience and courage and bravery and compassion and understanding and empathy and wisdom, and beyond it all, love. We learn so much about love through experiencing what love is not. We develop so much in terms of our love, giving and receiving love, through these profound experiences of what isn't love, of the lack of love, or being attacked with what is not love. We learn through contrast. We learn in this dense duality of this planet we're on through contrast more than anything. So when we get to the branch level, we're starting to realize, there's strengths and qualities. I see this so often in my work. These amazing people who've just been through unbelievable stuff, but they've developed compassion, they've developed this empathy, they've developed obviously lots of strength and courage going through these things, that they often translate it, depending where they are on their healing journey. This happens more and more, that even young people I've seen, translate it into service. Let's say they were terribly abused as a child, where they've been strong enough to flip that into being really wonderful, loving parents. And yep, they've got their issues and there still might be trauma reactions and things going on, but overall, they're so empathic, they're so protective, they're so caring and present. Already they've flipped it into being a better person. They've made good on their experiences. And as we heal through the residue more and more, it becomes more and more clear that those gifts are what remain. They're what we get to keep forever. They become part of our soul character. And so there's an invitation for you to be curious too about what gifts you've developed through your life challenges. Another aspect I want to mention about this, which is very challenging in ways, it's a very sensitive area, and that's forgiveness. What does forgiveness mean? And we're really going right up in the branches here. Maybe this is another video. Let me know. I can talk about this more if you're interested. But true forgiveness, in Course in Miracles definition, way of it, is getting even beyond the canopy of the branches. We're getting right back into soul state, and we're realizing that what happened in life ultimately didn't change anything real. It was like a movie, it's like a story. Traditionally people have called that illusion or Maya. Course in Miracles would call it a dream. That what's happening in our 3D, 4D, 5D reality in this dense duality of the earth is ultimately a dream. So forgiveness is realizing that, what was done to me didn't harm or destroy the truth of who I am. What I did to others didn't harm or destroy anything real in another. It's like it all played out in the dream. What happens in the dream stays in the dream. And so a useful way to understand this very high level definition of forgiveness is, well, think of a dream, having a nighttime sleeping dream. So we're asleep, we might be dreaming, and when we're in the dream, it seems very real. It seems intensely real. We believe it. We're in it, we're living it, experiencing it. That's the reality. But when we wake up, we realize, that was just a dream. What happened in that dream was not of any damaging consequence for the me or the identity or the self that woke up out of that dream. Now, if we take that metaphor, we take it up a level, then what it's saying is this life that we're living, and the trauma we go through and everything we go through, the whole experiential enchilada of it, is essentially, ultimately a dream. And when we go up into the branches, beyond the branches, back into soul state, we're waking up out of that human identity, that human bandwidth of consciousness, expanding back into our greater self, our spiritual self. And it's like, that was just a dream. That's like when we go to the movies, we watch a great movie, or we get very intensely involved in a book or something. We get very involved in the story, but it's just the story. That's the ultimate level of healing, because it's at that level that we can really forgive, we can really let go, we can really allow, okay, I grew, I learned, like a good story. I grew, I developed somehow out of being involved in that story. And of course our life is us right in the story. We're in it. We're the protagonist right in the middle of the story. But yeah, so it's not wasted. There is growth, there is evolution through that, that ultimately who we are is not affected by it. We're not destroyed. We're not damaged. We're not hurt by it. It's just what we went through in that story, in that dream. Now that's very high level, and we've got to be careful when we bring this level of perspective or interpretation in, because earlier on that would be minimizing the pain. That would be very rude, disrespectful, very insulting to the very real experiences that someone's gone through. And so it's not a concept I introduce early on, that's for sure. But as we heal through it, there's more and more room to actually go to that level. And that's where our complete release from it can happen. That's really the final level of healing. So I hope that's of interest. Hope you find that helpful. Yeah, please, any comments, any questions. Happy to talk more about this stuff if it resonates for you. Here for you. Sending you lots of love and gratitude, and see you next time.